advance. Favorite Kobe moment, however, I'd have to say Game 4 2000 NBA Finals when Shaq fouled out in overtime or late in regulation, and he pretty much took them to a 3-1 lead and ultimately a 4-2 series win. It's a memory that gives me chills, but honestly, as I'm saying this, the memory that kills all of them is Kobe to Shaq, Game 7, about 35 seconds left. I get chills still watching that replay, and I'm getting chills right now just thinking of it.
I love that. That's a great moment. Alejandro.
Yeah. I'm going to go with one in an all-star game. I'm going to get away a little bit from the finals because they won a couple of titles, and I was a Lakers fan growing up just because they were winning, and I was a kid and I just didn't know any better.
That's what they do.
I don't remember the exact year, but I remember Kobe Bryant just taking over and not letting the new generation get that all-star game MVP. I don't remember the year. I will have to look it up and do my research, but I'm going to stay with that moment because I think sometimes, and I remember early in the 2000s, they used to play the all-star games for real. It was not like a walk in the park. They used to really play that game, and that's how it should be, in my opinion. And I remember just Kobe Bryant leading the West, and I think that's my favorite moment.
That's a great moment because there's video floating around Twitter today of them in the locker room prior to that game, and Timmy Hardaway, Miami Heat, Timmy Hardaway in a Miami Heat jersey is actually my favorite all-star jerseys, or when they all just wear their regular game jerseys to the
when they were in New York.
Yes, exactly. And Michael Jordan said, "Oh, that kid from LA, he don't let the game come to him. He just go out there and take it." And it's just cool to listen to MJ and Timmy and Penny Hardaway was in there. So I'm glad you brought that up, Alejandro. Jonathan, predictions for tonight and favorite Kobe Bean moment.
Predictions, I'm going to take the Heat. Typically, the Heat struggle against better offensive teams, even if they're not the best defensive teams, just because we get, outshot sometimes. Knicks are bottom 5 in points in the paint, assists, points overall. They're pretty bad offensively, and they're not good at passing the ball either. Like Ricky said, should be pretty easy night on the house. Favorite moment for me, I'd probably have to say winning it in 08 because that's the first one I actually remembered. I was a little bit older, so I didn't like it at the time, but now remembering that, but overall, just as a Heat fan, growing up, it was always Wade versus Kobe. And, he may not be the greatest player of all time, but to me, he's the greatest competitor of all time. And he's the greatest competitor this game's ever seen. And it's just so sad that he's gone. And I hope that his legacy just continues, man, because what he did for this game, no one else will ever, I don't think will ever leave that kind of impact that he did.
Brady, talk to us.
Yeah, first of all, with the Heat, I think this is one of the same type of games we saw against Portland where it's just a defensive domination, as I pointed out before. And I think this is another game where I think Duncan Robinson chains some good things together offensively. As I said, the drop coverage with Tyler Hero. When Duncan Robinson is hitting threes, there's not a better drop killer on this team just because it's literally one defender you have to take out with a screen, and PJ's usually the one doing it with his offensive lineman block. So I think that's something to look out for. Favorite Kobe moment, Ricky's pointing out 2000 moments, which I was 3 years away from being born. So I'm definitely going the final game of his career because that's the one that's fresh in my memory all the time. But I just don't think there's a better time for a player to go out like that. What was it, 61 points? Like just the way he did it, even in a bad year, just being able to take that team and win against the Jazz. I just feel like that was one of the better all-time performances, just single game. So I have to go with that one.
That is a great one, and I love how you keep it relevant to what you were able to actually watch with your own eyes. I wish a lot more people would actually do that, and I don't mean to say that like a Mr. Old Grumpy guy, but just I think a lot of people talk out of turn sometimes, so I appreciate that. All right, so I guess I'm up. The Heat were 3-0 against the Knicks last year. They're 19-7 against New York since 2013-14, which was the last year, the Big Three. They haven't played the Knicks yet, and they haven't lost. They've won 5 straight at home against the Knicks, which I tweeted out earlier today, and everybody says I'm jinxing them. Guys, I am not Ethan J. Skolnick. I do not jinx the Miami Heat. I'm spiritually connected to this squad. Don't put me in that space. So the Heat get a victory here, and my favorite Kobe moment. So I used to actually be one who always was trying to tell everybody that Dwayne was just as good as Kobe. So like I just being transparent, like during Kobe's career, I wasn't a hater of Kobe ever. I actually own a champion size probably 36 because I was a lot skinnier back then. Purple number 8 Kobe jersey. Like, that's one of the few non-Heat jerseys I owned. This is like a weird thing to remember, but as we went around the room, it popped in my head. He blew his Achilles out, and it was a bad moment. And he still shot his free throws. And I know, like, anyone could probably, they say, oh, it's easy to shoot free throws, you're just standing there. But there was something about the way that he went about that was very much like, I'm doing this to ensure that I can return to the game. Because you guys know the rule. If you don't shoot your free throws, you ain't coming back in. And there was just something more like he was signifying something there. And I just thought that was powerful in itself. Kobe, ultimate, he lit Jalen Rose up for 81. So every time I listen to Jalen talk, that's always funny as well. So let's call out the 81-point game. I don't know that we're
commercial
ever
was legendary.
Is anyone going to ever get 81 or more again?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's going to happen. This is a 3-point shooting league, and Clay got close a couple times. They benched him in like the fourth quarter. He would have gotten it. It's only a matter of time. The more threes we shoot in this league, it's going to happen. It's not going to mean or feel the same as all those most of the shots being field goals, 2-point field goals. He shot a lot.
Very true. So yeah, that's where I'm going, just because it just again signifies the overcoming adversity nature of the Mamba mentality, as they call it.